So we have a reading set up for today. We're going to see who it's for. It's for someone who is feeling specifically powerless. So it's worded in the past. So you felt powerless. And then how we would like to feel now. You have control over your current circumstances and the choices you make. So we're taking our power back. So that's who this reading is for. If you've been feeling powerless, that you don't have any choices, that there isn't any hope, this reading is specifically for you. This might be coming up is that you might be demanding too much of others. So you're trying to control others around you, forgetting about their personal feelings and emotions. We're going to call our power back to ourselves and not worry so much about what others are doing. So an antidote to feeling powerless is whisper to yourself, I am amazing. And what I like about this is it's written in the first person, I am amazing. So we don't need to control what others are doing. We don't need to worry about what they're saying. It's all about I am amazing, which can also look like I am enough, I matter. We're going to whisper these kind thoughts and feelings to ourselves. And I really like to use like a self-hypnosis practice, like a meditation practice, to meditate on these things that are going on in our conversation inside of our head, the looping thoughts, bringing it back to ourselves. And then we have a root cause of some of this stuff is I'm overthinking. Why am I overthinking? I know the answer once I quiet my thoughts. So sometimes we're really in our heads and we're overthinking, and we need to come back into our body. When we're up in our heads, it's like we've disconnected ourselves from our body because we're just living from the neck up, and the overthinking and the ruminating thoughts. So give those thoughts space, like take a timer, set 10 minutes, write down everything you're overthinking, and then get into your body and do some heavy work like lifting, moving, walking, anything that gets you from your head back into your body, away from your thoughts, away from worrying about controlling others, and look at what you do have control over. Okay, so if you resonate with these things, these are your cards. Let's see. This is a 6 of air. So I like to look at cards as like interpreting art and interpreting the imagery. And I might not always interpret the imagery the way that you would. So if you see a symbol and it means something specific or special to you, like a blue boat, it might resonate differently for you than it does for me. But I'm just going to interpret what I can and what I see. But if you see something extra or special, just know that that was for you, even if I don't address it. Because the subconscious mind speaks in pictures. It's a pictorial language. So just keep that in mind. So this says 6 of air, things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, and taking a trip. So what I like about this is the single horse coming forward. We've got a lot of things in the background. We're going to go on a trip. It looks like boat, water. So connecting to water, moving. It could be taking a bath, taking a shower, taking a trip. It could be moving away from this problem because it says the end of a difficult situation. Doesn't always mean literally taking a trip, but it could be a road trip somewhere, doing something different, leaving all this stuff behind. This is a single person boat. I don't see more than one horse fitting in this boat. There's a lot of lush greenery. To me, it's symbols of like abundance and wealth. But this is kind of like hazy imagery in the background that we're leaving this all behind. So it's a really pretty card. Air cards are all like of the mind. If you can think of being spacey, it's all up in your head. And that can go with this card of like, why am I overthinking? So we've got an air card. And I like that this is using whisper because that's like airy. I am amazing. Okay, the center card is also for you. Let's see. This is Archangel Zadkiel. And I could be pronouncing his name wrong, so forgive me if I did. And this is a balance card, and number 14. So check out the imagery for yourself. We've got one cup pouring and filling the other. We've got the right hand pouring into the left hand, so the masculine side of the body pouring into the feminine side. We've got the wings kind of curling around in a self-protective way. We've got one foot in water, one foot on land, one foot in our emotions, and one foot grounded. So we need to ground some of these heavy emotions of feeling powerless. Connect to those feelings, but stay grounded. We've got a lot of blue flowers. I think they're irises. We've got the sun in the background, and it's framed by dark colored mountains. We've got a lot of purple. Purple is the chakra of thinking and also the color of royalty. It was a rare color in the past, and that's why only, like, if you look at art history, only royals had purple. So this card says, the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, waiting for perfect timing. So we've got balancing act here, balancing between two worlds, the earthly and the emotions. Earthly is like our needs, food, water, shelter, the lower chakras and what they represent, and then the water is like the ebb and flow of our emotions and pouring into our own cup, possibly. The need for balance and moderation. So you don't have to not worry, but maybe just not worry all day and try to control others is kind of pointless. We can only really control ourselves and make our own world, our own family, our own neighborhood a better place. We can't control the big wide world, but try to focus on how you can make your world a better place. And if you stick around to the end, I'll share a story about that if you need a little bit of inspiration, cooperation, and compromise, which all feels like a balancing act. And waiting for perfect timing, like waiting for that full body, yes, that upward rising of emotions that feels opening, feels exhilarating, versus that downward spiral of emotion that feels like contraction. To look for that expansive feeling. Try to learn your body's yeses and nos and try following them for a few days. I'm going to run that experiment myself. Okay. And then an earth card. So we had air, we had an archangel card, and then earth is our emotion, our human needs. So like food, shelter, water, career, how we attract income. So 6 of earth. And we've got this scale that is very well balanced. We've got a young figure in the center with open wings, a pair of wings. We've got a lot of lush greenery. We've got flowers on both sides. So very balanced card as a 6 of earth. And we've got, it says at the bottom, gifts of money, time, or effort. So get ready to receive by letting go of trying to control others, control circumstances bigger than yourself, working on bringing everything back to what you can do for you and maybe make one other person's day better. Letting go of overthinking or scheduling time to worry and let the rest of your day be great. There's a reward at the end of this little story of going out on your own, taking your own boat, working on balancing yourself, waiting for perfect timing. The reward is gifts of money, time, or effort. New career opportunities come your way, receiving a loan or paying off debt. So this is like really good news and is kind of like a great end to the story because we've got this card talking about balance. We've got the imagery of balance. We can see how the cards start to form a little story all on their own. And then we're going to check our work with a shadow work card. A shadow is kind of what drives us until we bring our shadow into the light by loving it. A great book for that is Feeding Your Demons. It's a book I've read multiple times, and I'm working on the activities or the coursework in the book, I should say. So the shadow is the opposite. So one of my shadows is wanting to appear super smart because one of my shadow wounds was from first grade, was basically being called stupid and then spending the rest of my life trying to prove that I'm intelligent. So if you look for where you want to be known or seen as something in the world, like I want to be seen as smart, then you can find the opposite, which is usually the shadow. And the Feeding Your Demons book will go into that. So this shadow work is shame. So you could be feeling powerless because you have on your own handcuffs, your own shackles. Shame is a way of controlling others and controlling the self because we feel so bad about something and we have to like bring our own light to the shame. So it says, you are not flawed. You are so worthy of love and belonging. Forgive yourself for not giving yourself enough self-love. So really focusing back on yourself. So when we're trying to control others and we have no control of others, other people, places, circumstances within reason, like if you have to care for children or animals, that's different because they can't really take care of themselves. There was a great story by Gabby Bernstein, talking about how she was like super depressed, stuck in her apartment after 9/11, and then going and figuring like, what can I do to help others? And she makes like a stack of sandwiches and puts them in bags, and she goes out and makes her corner of the world a better place by giving away these sandwiches. So think about what you can do in your corner of the world to make yourself a better place, and not worrying about like selfishness. Like sometimes we get self-absorbed. So how can you go out and do something for others? So in our situation, we gave away some Thanksgiving meals when we were feeling hopeless and powerless during COVID. Um, Things weren't looking so hot, so we ended up making these Thanksgiving bags of groceries and then giving them away to neighbors we didn't know in a Buy Nothing Facebook group, to stop being like so self-absorbed, to worry about someone else, and just take away the power of the overthinking, even just for a few hours, as I shopped for people and we gave those things away. So I hope this is helpful. Um, if you have any ideas for things you do when you feel powerless, or you feel like you're controlling others and worrying about others too much, something that helped you with shame, if you could put those in the comments so we can have discussions and learn from one another. And if you had special imagery jump out to you and that image means something to you specifically, I would love to read those comments. Please subscribe. Subscribing is free. It helps the channel grow. It helps these videos find the exact right people for them. And it costs nothing to you, but means everything to the YouTube algorithm. Thanks. Have a great day.